Yes, absolutely. I do identify myself as European. I think I always identified myself more as European than just Italian, even though I have a strong bond with my native country and especially with my city. But I do feel more European. I think I've always been very lucky because since I was a child, I had opportunity to travel across Europe and to experience how to be European meant for me. But if I had to choose two really formative moments, I would say that the first one was the cultural exchange I did in Madrid during the last year of high school, because it was the first moment when I felt really European, as it was the first long stay abroad. The second moment, and most important one, for my European identity was my exchange program in Russia 3 years ago. It was the first time I stepped outside the European borders and got in touch with people my age from different non-European countries. In that moment, I realized how important was to be European and all the privileges of being part of the European Union. It was also important because I was the first student at my university in Italy to do an exchange program at that particular university in Russia. And my experience was so formative that I decided to create like an agreement to join my university in Milan and the Russian university, so that other students could have the same experience. I think that one of the worst historical moments in recent European history is, for me, is the crisis of migrants, which occurred in 2015, because this crisis brought to light many structural weaknesses within European system that was not able to manage the crisis. Especially as an Italian, I really lived this moment, and I saw changes in the society, in my country, in my own city, and unfortunately, a growing lack of humanity and kindness in the society. This crisis also highlighted the lacks in terms of infrastructures and in the healthcare system. Even though Europe is considered to be a privileged country, it shows many weaknesses. So I think that's the worst moment. It's not really easy to find one, unfortunately, but I think that for me, the best moment in recent European history was the climate movement mobilization across Europe. Because for the first time, I saw a strong youth movement that finally brought to light a real problem, so a climate crisis that concerns all of us, not just Europeans, but in general the world. So it also stressed the importance of young people and the role they have and they must play in our society. So I have to say that I am grateful to be European because as a citizen of the EU, I always had the opportunity to travel, to move from one country to another without restrictions and without limits. And this certainly helped to strengthen my desire to travel, to make new experiences outside my home country, because it was possible. And thanks to Europe, I have not only an identity as an Italian citizen, but I have many others. You may say I am a dreamer, but I hope that by 2030, the European Union will be really committed to find a concrete solution to face the climate emergency, the climate crisis. I would really like to see a truly united and cohesive Europe, where leaders will be together fighting the climate crisis, treating it as a real problem involving not just Europe, but the world.